Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for May 6th to the 13th, 2022. All right, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. You know the drill. Let's take 3 deep breaths together and get into sync. And I invite you to see a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, anchoring you deep into the here and now, into Mother Earth, grounding yourself beautifully and knowing that that conduit is not only grounding you, but it is a channel through which anything that no longer serves can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I am here with all of your children for this weekly reading. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover what is uppermost in our hearts and minds at this time to our satisfaction in the window that we have together here today. I'd also like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us. Across time and space, wherever you are held in this circle of light and love. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. We set the tone for ease, for clarity, for wisdom, for healing, for transformation, for empowerment. Again, whatever is in our collective heart and mind, may it be addressed at this time for our collective greater good and the good of this beautiful planet we call home. Okay, let's see what the cards want to tell us this week. These flowers are from the garden, and I'm absolutely in love with them. The colors are just so magnificent. These little bits of beauty and how much they transform us just by being. It is incredible to me constantly how flowers can do that. Okay, so Creator, what is it that we need to know this week for our personal and collective highest and greatest good, to be clearings of light and beauty, love and well-being on this planet, to help shift the collective in good ways, so we can all go in a direction that is more beautiful, more sustaining, more uplifting, more enlivening and inspiring. What do we need to know this week, Creator? Please and thank you. Okay, so getting started. The Magician, the recent past. So this card continues to influence us in our present and in our future. And the Magician, being a major arcana, is an important card. We need to pay attention to this. The Magician is all about focusing the attention, the will, and intention on our goal, on what it is that we want. Because when we pull those different aspects of ourselves into alignment and into a congruent state, we are incredibly powerful manifestors and creators on this planet. So this card of the Magician is sitting in the recent past, as I said, and it continues into the present, into the future. But it's this understanding that we are so much more than we give ourselves credit for, or that we're even aware of. And understanding that this power that we have can be used, harnessed in appropriate and positive ways for our good and for the good of the planet. I think a lot of times we're using our abilities unconsciously, unintentionally, and as a result, we're not creating intentionally. We're not creating in a manner that is congruent with what is true for us in our hearts. And so starting to become mindful of that is very helpful and very important and very empowering for us personally, but also the good that we can do on the planet when we align ourselves with our gifts and our abilities and use them in good ways. Again, so that we can serve our own gifts, our service, what we're here to offer the world, who we are, our uniqueness, but also adding our light to the collective light for the good. So this is reminding us to be mindful of what is it that we want, and are we aligning our energies and our attentions in good ways to pull that through. The present card, we have the moon, another major arcana. So the moon is about the regeneration that happens to us when we sleep. The moon is also the collective consciousness, the field that we're all part of. It's also, I think the story is kind of appropriate right now on the planet at this time. We just had a solar eclipse on last Saturday, and there's a lot of emotion that seems to be up on the planet. I know personally I've been feeling it. Others have been sharing with me, and the readings I'm doing, there's just a lot going on. And this emotional state that we're in, or what we're finding ourselves, is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to clear out some old stories, some old beliefs, some old stuff, and liberate ourselves, free ourselves of these old, heavy stories running us, so that we can be free to show up fully presently here and now. It doesn't mean it's going to be gone overnight, though. Might be open to that possibility, but it's a process. We're going through a process of clearing and cleaning out. So the moon in our present is, the story is, we have a little girl and she's out with her dog, and they're out at night for some reason, and they're lost. And the little girl is afraid. And the moon is sad because the moon is lighting her way to this shelter where she'll be taken care of. The moon is actually her friend. And so when we feel that things are darkest, we need to realize that it is serving us. It is all serving us. Even when it feels dark, there is light coming. And the darkness is the contrast that helps us to realize and appreciate and love the light. But it's all beautiful. It all has its place. It all serves us. And when we can make friends with the dark places in ourselves, we're in a different space in the world in terms of compassion and kindness with each other, and where we fall down, and helping each other to stay high and to stay kind to ourselves, so that we can move through whatever it is we need to move through. Because beating ourselves up for being in a dark or heavy place, of course, doesn't serve anybody. It's just what it is. We're all going through these different ups and downs and all arounds. And it's part of the experience of being here and being human at this time. It's what we signed up to do, to help shift humanity to a new level, a new way of being. And so in this present, we have the card, as I said, of the moon, and going through the emotion, knowing that it's not about avoiding it. It's about just letting it be. It's not us. Our emotions are part of our experience, but they aren't who we are, and they're temporary. And we will move through them. And once we move through them, there'll be something else. We're like the sky. The emotions are the clouds. And just remembering that as we go through our experience and we have these things going on in our lives, just stay peaceful, stay grounded to the best of your ability. Take that deep breath, come back to your heart, and feel what you're feeling, and let it move out through you. That's the best way, or the most effective way through it. It's just transforming it through us, having the emotions run through us. So 2 major arcana so far. And then in the near future, we have the King of Pentacles. Now, kings and queens are the maturation of their suit. Pentacles is the earth element. It has to do with material things of life. It also has to do with the beauty and comfort and well-being. Being in the body, enjoying being in the body, savoring the good. This is the energy that we're moving towards. It's also very practical. The King of Pentacles is a very practical person. So there's this energy of what is it that we want, moving through where we are, sort of the dark night of the soul, I guess, in a way. That's sort of where humanity, where we are. It feels darkest before the dawn. That's the energy that's coming through with this card today. And then the near future, this sort of, we need to be practical about building the future that we want, but building a future that is grounded in the earth, appreciation and understanding, respect for and honoring of the earth, because this is our home, and building from that wisdom, building from that understanding. Putting things in order financially as well, because Pentacles has to do with money, has to do with material things. So there's this energy of moving towards something that's going to require us to be practical and put things in order, but also enjoy our lives, enjoy what's important and true and real and authentic and grounded and beautiful. That's all part of this energy of this cards. This is where we're moving towards. The energies this week is sort of directing us towards this. So even though it might be feeling like intense emotion and a little bit maybe even buried by the emotion, we are coming through this, and we need to get practical and recognize what is important to us, what is important, and hold that moving forward. Not too tightly, but it's about bringing that wisdom into a practical sort of awareness that these are our priorities, this is what's important, and this is how we're going to move forward. Does that make sense? Okay, the foundation, why we're having the reading this week, we have another major arcana, and it's the Sun. It's a beautiful card. I love this card. The Sun is about the evolution of humanity. It's the higher octave of it is of evolution. It's about high summer. It's about abundance. It's about prosperity. It's about beauty. It's about well-being. It's about community. It's about partnership. We have two Robins who mate for life. This is a foundation of the reading this week. We need to hold this. It's very important for us not to get sidetracked, not to get washed away by our feelings or overwhelmed by what we think we see in the world. Because there's a lot of good going on the planet right now too. We might not be hearing about it though. And so staying focused on the good, focused on the evolution of humanity, focused on the beauty, what's important, what's valuable to us, what do we care about? If we needed to design the world, if we were going to design the future, if that was your job, what would you want it to look like for everybody? If you were the appointed benevolent world dictator, what would your vision be? What would that overarching vision be that you would hold to pass on to your assistants to implement, to make the world more beautiful and more a happier, sustaining, enlivening space for everyone? So that's what we need to carry forward this week, or hold on to this week, is what is the vision for what we want? How do we want this beautiful world to go? What do we want it to look like? We don't have to have all the details worked out. That's okay. That's really okay. Big picture is okay too. I would love to see a world where there's clean water, where we focus, where we understand the importance of water and we treat it with respect and we honor it and we don't waste it. And we are finding ways to honor it and clean it and take care of it and support it and keep it flowing in the world. And where we liberate water that's been stuck and keep it flowing. That's one piece. Water, coming back to that understanding that water is life, and we need to be very, very cognizant of that. And so maybe as benevolent world dictator, I would start with a ministry of water so that people are educated about the importance of water in our bodies and what it does for our health and why we need that clean water in our own bodies, but also How do we take care of the water that we use? How do we be stewards of the waters of the land, of the earth? That would just be one way, one example of dreaming for the future. Cleaning our air, cleaning our land, our soil, regenerative agriculture, ending the use of toxic chemicals and pesticides, and transforming how we're doing things so that everything that we do is an act, a sacred prayer. Everything that we do, all of our interactions with life, become an act of devotion to life, to this beautiful planet. That to me is all contained in this energy of the sun. If we're going to evolve as humanity, we need to evolve past our wanton, adolescent, narcissistic perspective of this is all here for me and I can do what I like to it. We need to transcend that and become an active part of life and take responsibility for our part here and clean up the messes that we've made, which would be phenomenal. Can you imagine the planet if we took that on? There's just so much. So there's just a few examples, I guess. But again, dreaming big. If you were the one creating the future, and you are, what would you want it to look like? What would be inspiring? Okay, so those are the cards for this week. We have 3 major arcana. So this is a time of us taking our power, stepping into greater awareness of ourselves and the role that we play in the world, and being intentional about it. For the good. That's what this card is all about. Staying grounded in the light. It's interesting, we have the moon and the sun. And the moon, as I said, it's just a different energy. We need the night so we can sleep and regenerate and heal and recover in order to live another bright sunny day. So it's not that this moon is a dark, heavy, oppressive thing. No. It's part of our evolution. We need to go through the dark times to appreciate the light times. And we're learning a lot about ourselves as we go through this right now. But that's just what's up. It's just what's up. And being with it and keeping our attention, be where you are for sure. But also remember that this is serving something so much greater. And what is your vision for what that could be? I'm going to move on to the reading of the week. Sorry, we're doing the reading of the week. Forgive me, I'm on the tail end of my COVID. Okay, so what is our card to grow on, Creator? What do we need to know? What can we carry with us this week to help us to stay centered and grounded as we navigate our dark night of the soul, personally and collectively? How do we stay in our best place as we do this good work? So our card to grow on this week. Illusion. So, in the card, we see the angel at the bottom here, and the angel is looking absolutely overwhelmed by all these sort of exploding hearts above her. This is just to remind us to stay very aware. Where is your energy going? Where is your attention going? Is it real? Is it true? How do you know? Coming back to what is real, coming back to what is here and now. Your life right here, right now in your body is what you know to be true. What I know to be true. Just this right here. What we see on the TV, on the screens, what we read about, we don't know for sure. That's all interpretation. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. I'm not saying that there isn't. But what I'm saying is it's easy to get feeling overwhelmed, pulled off our center. And when that happens, we're no longer grounded. We're no longer here doing what it is that we need to be doing in our immediate lives. So this card is reminding us to just stay really present and to look out at the world critically, thoughtfully, and with awareness, not just taking what is said to us as truth, but filtering it through our heart. And again, this idea that we need to come back to our immediate lives. This is where we live. This is where we exist as individuals. This is where the good that we are here to do is to be done, is right here, right now. So if you're pulled off center, distracted by whatever is going on in the outer world, the outside in narrative, just remember that that is not perhaps the best use of your gifts and your abilities and your talents. Your work is to be here now, to be here in this time and moment and space, and to be the clearest version of yourself that you can be. If you're in a state of overwhelm and illusion, you're not clear, you're not grounded, you're not present. So just be mindful as we go through this next week. Just be mindful about this in your own experience, and be intentional about it. It's okay if you want to go and get distracted, that's fine. But come back to your world, come back to what's real and true and authentic. Because this is where your point of power is, your point of contribution is here in this moment, from inside of yourself out into the world. So bear that in mind as you go through this week. It's about staying real, staying true, staying authentic. And I wish you a good week of doing that. So, Creator, I just invite you to take a nice deep breath with me. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this reading this week. For all of us, I ask that you be with us as we remember our power. And remember that no matter how dark and challenging things may seem, it's an opportunity for us to clarify what is important to us, what is beautiful, what it is that we do want. It's providing us with powerful contrast to know what it is that we are being called to. Help us to rise up and be practical, to hold what is valuable and important close to our hearts, and to design a world that supports and sustains and nurtures all those important pieces, and help us to build a world where we are honoring the good, the earth, the water, the air, the land, each other, all life here on this planet, that we are more intentional than ever about co-creating and crafting a magnificent planet with love and kindness for all. And help us to stay present and out of the illusion this week, so we can be here in our bodies, right here, right now, being the clear people that we're here to be, doing the good work we're here to be. I wish you a beautiful week. Thank you, Creator, to all those who helped to hold the space today, all the angels who surround us, all our grandmothers and grandfathers and ancestors, those who walk with us and look out for us and care about us. I want to thank all of them for being present. I want to thank you for all the good that you're doing, who you are and what you're doing, and how you're adding to the beauty of this planet. These are challenging times, no doubt about it. And we're here doing good work together. Don't ever underestimate your contribution, your holding of light, your holding of beauty, your holding of peace. It may not seem like much, but it is tremendous. I wish you a beautiful week. We'll see you next Friday. Lots of love. Bye for now.